Hey, hi, hello everyone. Today I'm back, and this time I will be talking about the story of me moving here to Finland. And last episode I died, so I will probably have to gather some stuff as well. And this story is probably one of the longer ones. I will probably have to cut a lot of details, but still, I also ran out of food. So, anyways, I came here to Finland like 2 months ago for university because like I got into a university here. You don't need all the details for it, but what you need to know is that getting to here was kind of painful. Oh, I still don't have the volume of. Okay. Wait, I will just get back to everything. Okay. So basically, I got here 2 months ago, and I came here with my father, and I need the house to stay here, right? Because they don't really have dorms in Finland, so you gotta rent a student apartment. And I needed an apartment really quickly because I don't really have anywhere to stay. So there is an app or like a website that we use to apply for an apartment, and it's not really guaranteed that you will get an apartment. So what I had to do was to apply to over 1500 different apartments just to like get my status as an like emergency student, I guess. Like, so I will definitely get an house. And I didn't really have much of a choice in applying to apartments because when you're applying to 1500 apartments, you don't really get to choose where you get to. So luckily I got into somewhere decent. I live in the campus and I'm really close to the school because like of course I'm in the campus, so it's going to be close. But yeah, so I got into a decent place. But the one problem was that I didn't really get my keys before the school started. The school started in like August, and I will be getting my keys in September. So I had to go to a week of school without being able to stay in an apartment. So what we did was to get into a hotel with my dad, and we were just planning to stay there for a while, and then I would move in a few days, and it would all go smoothly. And as you can probably understand from the way the story is going, it didn't go smoothly at all. First of all, we had to get into a line to get my keys. The office opened at 12, and I had a class, so I got there just after 12. I think I got there at 12:10 or something like that. So I got there pretty early, that's what I'm trying to say. And there was a line of, I kid you not, over 200 people waiting in line before me. Like, there were 200 people ahead of me, and like normally that wouldn't be much of an issue. I like you just get your keys and you leave, right? No, you don't. It doesn't work like that. So you get in one by one, and yeah, I will just kill this guy because it's kind of the rule of the game. And so to get your keys, you get in line. They get you one by one, and it takes a lot of time for the line to move. Like they get a single person each minute or two, which would mean that I had to wait over 3 hours. And yeah, I could wait 3 hours. It will be painful, but it will be okay. But the problem was that they only worked for 3 hours a day. And they didn't even work every single day. They worked only during like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which is really weird. Why would you not work in every single weekday? And just for 3 hours. We need our keys. If I didn't get my keys, you might think that I could just go there in Wednesday and I will get my keys. It wouldn't be much of an issue. But the problem is that the rooms aren't furnished. So we already bought some like beds and like other furniture for the house, and they would be arriving in Tuesday. So if I didn't get my keys, like I couldn't really get my furniture. They couldn't really put it anywhere. And thankfully, after waiting for over 3 hours, they decided to keep the line going. I guess they worked more than they normally do. Thank God. And when I was first in the line, there was like this security guy, and I looked at him like with really sad eyes, like trying to tell him to please just let me in, please, I need this. Then he looked at me with a smile and told me this, and I will never forget it. You are on the winning side. This is exactly how he said it, and like you couldn't see how happy I was. I just felt a sense of relief washing over me. I just felt so happy. I was finally able to get my keys, and I was happy. But when I got into the office, there was another problem, because I guess I can't really live without any problems. So you are normally supposed to get two keys, one as a spare key and the one you would be normally using. And the tenant before me didn't give his spare key, so he essentially had access to the house. And that wasn't really nice of him, but we still didn't really know how the house looked, and we just wanted to check everything was okay before deciding on what other furniture we should be buying and all that stuff. So we leave the office and we just get into the house expecting it to be clean and all stuff, because you have a deposit that's gonna just burn if you leave the house like pretty dirty. So we get in, and the first thing we realize is it just smells terrible. It smelled absolutely horrendous. Like you couldn't stand here for a minute. It was that bad. And there was like food stains all over the place, in the cupboards, on the walls. Like, how did you even do that? And like he didn't even take some of his stuff back, and like by that stuff I mean like what, baby wipes or like napkins, his pencils. Yeah, he pretty much just left his garbage here and expected us to clean after him. And so he still had the keys, which is pretty bad considering how he lived in the house. Like we didn't really want to. Okay, I also guess I will just run, and my FPS is absolutely dropping down so much. It's, yeah, I guess 60 isn't that bad, but still it feels kind of bad. So wait, I will just continue my story. So we weren't really happy with that, but we really had no choice. We still had to get the house furnished and all that stuff, and we will hopefully get the spare keys during Wednesday, by going to the office. So we started to clean the house. It took quite a lot of effort. But one thing we realized was that some of the stains on the walls, like, we just couldn't remove them at all. They were like embedded into the wall. I don't know how dirty this guy was living, but it was like that bad. The walls were supposed to be white, but it was all grayish, and after like using two whole bottles of what were they called? Surface cleaners, I guess. After using two bottles of that, the walls were still all gray. So we really had no choice but to get some wallpaper. And it was the same for the floor. The floor was absolutely terrible as well. We couldn't like clean it after so many attempts. So we needed to get some carpets for the floor and some wallpaper for the walls. So we went into a store, got more cleaning supplies because it still didn't feel clean and it was still pretty smelly. And this is during when I still had my orientation week. So I was going to school, they were showing us around the campus, and the campus is absolutely huge. It was like really big. It's almost like a town in itself. So I was walking around 20,000 steps each day, which is, a lot. And getting back home and just cleaning, which also took a lot of effort. And like, I gotta say, applying wallpapers is really, really difficult. We spent 4 hours just trying to apply wallpaper to like one side of the wall, And after that, my legs were shaking. It was like squatting for 4 hours after walking 20,000 steps, and it absolutely killed me. I was so tired, I didn't really have energy to do anything. And we somehow got everything. Then we also had to spend like a lot of money for the cleaning supplies. I don't really want to talk about it. But then we got the carpet as well. Then we just like covered the whole floor with the carpet. Then we just needed some furniture, a desk. I already had my bed, so we got a desk. And in here, I guess they don't really sell the furniture as assembled. So we got a desk and we had to assemble it on our own. And like, it's not really a big deal for me. I'm pretty confident in my ability to do stuff, especially after like this whole moving thing. So I started to assemble the desk, but then I realized that the instructions were wrong. So we had to disassemble the whole thing and just reassemble it again, which again wasn't really enjoyable, I guess. And it took me like 4 hours in total, and again we had to reassemble the whole thing because the desk just fell apart and it like broke into, like, it didn't really broke, but it just, the parts disconnected from each other, so we had to reassemble it. And it took a lot of effort. And normally when you purchase something, you expect all the tools to be given to you, right? So like, if you need a screwdriver, they will just give you it, but they didn't really give us anything, so we had to order one. I guess it's good for waste, but not really convenient, and I would like that. So wait, let me just get a shield, because I'm kind of getting owned by all these monsters. So anyways, I guess it's just that the process of moving here was really painful, and waiting in lines was absolutely the worst part of it, because normally we just thought I would get in and then get everything done in a few minutes, so I could just leave and get all my other legal stuff done. Because in here, if you don't own a bank account, you literally can't do it. And like, I'm not talking about a bank account anywhere. You need to have a Finnish bank account to be able to use many of the services. Like, I couldn't really get benefits of most student discounts. I had to pay the full price, which is a lot, and I didn't really like it. And since I couldn't get my address registered, because like, I normally had a reservation in the same day as I was getting my keys, but then like the whole thing took way more than it normally should have, and I had to cancel my reservation, and the next one was just 3 weeks apart. I just got everything done, and I really, really despised the guy, because as we were moving in, he apparently came back, and all he did was to take his garbage out, and he didn't even clean it, and gave his keys back. And like, I complained to the like school, I guess. I don't really know what they are called. The agency that owns the house. It's the school, but yeah. Anyway, so I complained, and I didn't really receive any answers from them. So I guess they just didn't really care that much. And I asked some of my friends here, and they basically said that all of their houses were just perfectly clean before they came, so they didn't really have to do anything. One of them even had a bed with it, so they didn't really have to pay for it either, which is like very unlucky of me, I guess. And until today, I knew next to nothing about this guy, okay? And well, I guess knowing about him won't do much. But today I checked my mailbox, or like the post thingy, I guess. I really don't like, yeah, I checked my mailbox, the physical one, so I had a lot of mail. I was just reading through all of them, and I realized that one of them wasn't addressed to me. It was addressed to another person that lived here, and I just checked the name and the dates, and it's the guy that lived before me. I know his name, I know his full legal name, I know his social security number, I know his ID number, I know like pretty much everything about this guy now. He didn't even bother checking his mail or emptying the mailbox. Like, this guy was just way too lazy. And I guess I won't really do anything with it because it will be kind of a crime, I guess. But, you know, if he ever gets to see this, just know I know who you are, okay? I know who you are. You can't hide away from me. I guess he probably left the country, and I, I, I kind of just searched his name on Google, and like 50 different people came up, so I guess it's a pretty common name, and it wouldn't really be like it wouldn't really be worth for me to do anything with it. Like yeah, I won't do anything. It's just okay. I just know him, and I don't really want to share his name because I guess that will be doxing and that's a crime, and I don't really want to do that. Well, yeah, then I finished moving. It all went pretty smoothly after that. Now I would say my house looks pretty decent. It's for a very affordable price as well, which is really nice, and I'm just basically in the campus right next to my school. Everything's going good. Yeah, I got nothing to complain about now, and I'm pretty happy. Yeah, that's all. That's the story of moving in and how I struggled. I had to cut a lot of details, otherwise this will be like an hour-long video, and I think I managed to get the whole thing pretty clearly. And yep, I guess that will be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed the story, and yeah, thank you all for watching. Bye!